All right, welcome back to another episode of the I'm Not a Not Hater. Today it's gonna be a little different. I got a special guest coming um in a few seconds, and we're gonna ask him some questions, and then I'm gonna proceed. Well, thank everybody for all their support with the podcast, and continuing to watch and view and tell me what you like and or dislike about the podcast. I definitely appreciate it. So, without further ado, I'm bringing my special guest. Come on, come in, bud. Come in. This is Kendall, everybody. Come in some more. All right. So, the topic of this episode is fatherhood, right? And so, since I'm his dad, I'm gonna ask him a couple questions, and then he's gonna answer them, and then I'm gonna proceed. All right. All right. So, but
Yes.
am I what you would call like? Am I a good dad?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Why do you think I'm a good dad?
Because you're nice
What else?
and you're fun.
Am I mean sometimes?
Sometimes.
But when I mean, is it because I'm trying to help you learn something, or I'm just being mean?
Help me learn something.
Okay. All right. What's the best time you ever had with me?
Um. We go to Target,
And what else?
go to Family Dollar,
And what else?
and go to Chuck E. Cheese.
So we just have fun times all the time, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, bud, that's it. You did a good job. High five. See you later. All right. So, as you can see from that brief little excerpt, right? One of my greatest and absolute favorite joys of life is being a father. I have that fatherly role. It's not easy because there's two of them, right? I have two sons. Um, and I parent them, kind of the same but different at the same time. Um, from social media, y'all could tell that though, right? I got a 20-year-old named Kai, and then the 7-year-old that you just saw named Kendall. They're a lot alike, so it has been, somewhat easy to parent them as, their dad. Like, I see the similarities in raising Kai, and now that I'm raising Kendall, I see the same similarities between the two of them. So it has been pretty easy to kind of maneuver and help them grow along, right? But the approach is different now because Kai's 20. So right now, um, it went from being all hands on with Kai, going through the growing pains of being a teenager and walking him through being a teenager to now, I'm there for the advice. And as he's going into manhood, just kind of steering him in the right direction, right? Or keeping him on the right path that he's been on. Um, but in the beginning, we did everything: check-ins, homework, we played video games, we watched movies, we did the whole nine, right? We basically did everything a father and a son would do. And then one day, that eve of that 13th birthday, it's when it all changed, right? It went from, Kai didn't want to hang out anymore to, you know, he was growing older and he was getting friends, and I had to take on a new role, right? I had to go from hands on to hands off. And it was tough in the beginning because I couldn't understand like why he didn't want to hang out. I used to just be able to bust in the room and just sit down on the bed, start talking or start playing video games, and it went from, being able to do that to he was on the phone with his friends, and you kind of had to like wait your turn pretty much. And it was like, wow, I was taken aback by it. And so, um, but eventually I got, I got in gear, right? I started to realize like, yeah, I'm giving advice on on choices. I'm giving advice about school. I'm giving advice about girls. I'm giving advice about everything under the sun now. And that's my role. And that's the part I had to play. And then when, he would ask, like, Dad, you want to hang out? You want to play video games or you want to chill? Then you take the opportunity when it's given. I'm glad that I went from, like, in the beginning feeling some type of way, taking it personal and being able to change, because I actually love the relationship that we have. um he knows that I'm there, even in this transition to adulthood. He knows that I'm always there. I'm always a step away, um earshot away if he need me. And it just he helped me become dad, right? So with that being said, like, I got much love for him. I always tell him, like, you're the reason why I'm a dad, and I love you dearly for that. So imagine going from that to where we stand with Mr. Kendall, right? So imagine, right, for the first 3-4 months of his life, when Kendall was born, I basically was ignored. Um, he was under his mom every time, and every time I went to grab him or hold him, uh, he cried. He cried his head off, and it was like, okay, is this kid gonna like me? Let's see. Um, and like that was the 3-4 months. I say about maybe month 5 or 6 was when I never forget, we was doing tummy time, and I was, of course, as usual, taking pictures and had my phone out, and we ended up making like this exact same face, right? We made this face, and I posted it, and people was like, oh my goodness, y'all look just alike. And it went through that whole thing, right? So um we I did that, and then, like, right after that 6 month till, what is this, year 7, almost 8 of his life, like, we clicked. So imagine going from being ignored to being somebody's, like, superhero. um you know and he enjoys it. So I Superman, Batman, whatever I need to be, I'm there, right? um but I'm prepared, right? I know I got like 5 or 6 years until the change comes. And then when that comes, I'm like, yep, I already know how this goes. I'm be giving advice, and then I'm transition to the adulthood. I'm gonna still be giving advice, and it's just gonna be when it's asked. I'm not gonna just jump in and just be giving advice just because it's necessary. It'll be like a phone call. Yo, Dad, this is what's going on. Yada yada yada. Okay, son, this is how you handle that. And that's pretty much how it is. Like, raising the second son is definitely easier than the first, because you already got the instructions, right? I already got the book. I already got the manual. So with that, I just kind of move as such. I'm enjoying the time that I have with both of them, and both ways, right? It's opposite ends of the spectrum, but at the same time, like, I'm definitely enjoying it, because I like being able to say, like, I got a 20-year-old and a 7-year-old. It shocks people, of course, right, when I say it, but at the same time, like, that fatherhood journey that I've been on, or that I'm on, it's like one that I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't change it for the world. The next phase, right? The next phase, though, in life, ultimately, one day, God willing, I'm looking forward to this role, though. Being the pop or the grandfather or grandpa. They look like they have a lot of fun. Grandfathers look like they have so much fun, bro. And I can't wait until that day comes, man. I can have fun with my sons and their kids, and not really listen to what my kids be saying as far as you know buying stuff, or doing stuff, or feeding the kids stuff. Just doing literally whatever I want to do. And that's the part I'm looking forward to. Being a pop, being a grandpa. Like, I'm all phases. Like, right now, I'm an uncle, I'm a dad. So it's like, I can't wait for that part. I mean, I know it's probably years away, ways away, but at the same time, like, it's something I'm looking forward to one day. Being a grandfather. Um, you know, the kids at school would be like, "You already old, you got white hairs." So I'm looking forward to being Santa Claus and doing all that stuff with my grandkids if they come along one day. We'll see. But all in all, like being a father is a role that I definitely take seriously. I love my children, and I sincerely hope, as the new generation of fathers, we pass down the love, along with other things that we learn and know, um, to our generation of kids. Um, I learned a lot from my grandfather, my uncle, my dad, and I take those different pieces into how I parent as a father. And so I'm just hoping that I'm able to pass down some good things to them. I hope they've learned from me, learned from my example and my words, right? Because I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a yeller. I don't yell at them. I just talk to them. I have lectures. Lectures. I do lecture them sometimes. I'm not gonna front. I lecture them, but all in all, like I try to make sure that they understand that it all comes from love, right? At the end of the day, there's no malice, there's no anger to it. It's nothing but love. It's just a dad loving on his kids, and that's pretty much what fatherhood has been. Just my chance to give these children love, um, and that's what it's all about. Man, with that being said, I'm gonna sign off. It's been a great episode. I love talking about my kids, as you could tell. I got a smile on my face the whole episode. And until the next one, man, be blessed. Peace and love. I'm not a hater. Signing off, Mr. Brown. Peace out.